So what is Excel? Excel is a powerful spreadsheet program which allows users to enter and manage data in the form of numbers, text, and formulas. Excel is still the undisputed market leader in spreadsheet programs. It has been around for a long time. It wasn't the original spreadsheet program, though. Folks that have been in the business as long as I have probably remember VisiCalc, I think was the first popular spreadsheet program. And then Lotus 1-2-3 came along. I used both of those, but now Excel has been king of the hill for quite some time, but Google Sheets is gaining in popularity. And Google Sheets and Excel are very similar. If you've used one, it's pretty easy to pick up the other one, but there are some differences there as well. So how do you get access to Excel? There's the primary way to get access to the full featured version of Excel is through Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 is a subscription program. It's $70 a year, but you get a lot for that $70. You get all the Microsoft Office software, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You get OneNote, Outlook, email, and calendar. You get access to OneDrive, which is Microsoft's cloud drive with a terabyte of storage. That's 1,000 gigabytes, huge amount of storage space. So a pretty good deal for $70 a year if you use all those products regularly. We do have a class called Microsoft 365 Overview. So if you want to learn more about this before you sign up, that's a good class to learn more about how that works. There is a free version of Excel. It's called Office Online, and it is a browser app. The normal Microsoft 365 is a program that you have to install, and it runs under an operating system, works on both Windows and Mac, whereas Excel Online runs as a browser app. It does not have all of the features of Microsoft 365, so it is not the full Excel program that I'm going to be demo and training on today. And it only gives you 5 gigabytes instead of 1,000 gigabytes of storage space. You can get extra storage space for 100 gigabytes for $2 a month, fairly cheap, but still quite a bit less than you're getting with Microsoft 365. Any questions about that background material before we move on? All right, let's go ahead and jump into Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and open Excel. There's two ways to get to Excel. You can go in through the Start menu and go into All Apps and just go down until you find Excel. I'll actually go in that way this time. I'll click here. And that will open Excel. I'm going to click back over to the home screen here and talk a bit about the home screen itself. There's two main sections to the home screen. The top section is where you can create a new workbook. And if you've never used Excel before, that's a good place to start. The bottom section is where you can access workbooks that you already have created or have been shared with you. But let's start with the top. And there's two ways to create a new workbook. You can start with a blank one. I'll click into that just to show you what that looks like. And that is what came up a minute ago. It just has an empty spreadsheet here for you to start working on. I'm going to actually close this one because we don't want to start with a blank one yet. And I'm going to open Excel again. And let me go back to the file. The bottom section. Oh, well, the next way you can open one is to use a template. And these are sample templates that are going to be showing up here. But if you come over here to the right-hand side, about half the way down, you'll see more templates. This is where you can get to all the templates. And Excel has a huge collection of templates. One difference between Google Sheets and Excel has a lot more templates. It's been around a lot longer. And what a template is, it's a pre-formatted spreadsheet. So you can bring this up and just start using it without having to build it yourself from scratch. And as you can see, there's so many, they actually break them into categories: business, personal, planners and trackers, lists, budgets, charts, calendars, lots of different types of templates. I'm just going to scroll through here. Let's go to personal, since I'm assuming most of you are going to be using it for personal as opposed to business. And just to give you an idea of what's out here. So there's a personal monthly budget, a weekly chore schedule, loan calculators, personal spending calculators, to-do list, family trees, allowance trackers, wedding expense budgeting, credit card tracker if you want to keep track of all your credit cards. I know there's checkbook balancing, spreadsheets, a movie list if you want to keep track of all the movies you like and the movies you haven't seen yet that you want to see. Pretty much anything you'd want to do with a spreadsheet. There is probably an address book, personal address book template. There's a template out here for that. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab one of these just to kind of show you what it looks like and how you would use one. So if you see one that looks interesting, oh, here's that check register template I was mentioning. But let's say I want to set up a budget. So if I want to open a template, you just click on the template. It's going to pop up a little screen that tells you a little bit more about the template to sort of make sure that's what you really want to use. And I'm going to go ahead and click create. And it brings up this template. Now the templates, I'm going to slide this up a little bit so we can see it a little better. Can have multiple sheets within it. And in this case, this first sheet where it opens is just some information about the template. And if you click this other tab down here beside it where it says personal budget, this is the actual template itself. And you can see the layout. It has revenue items. It has expense items. So the rows, the columns are months. And you can use this little control down here at the bottom right to slide back and forth across the columns. So there's a column for every month, and then there's a total out here at the far right. It even has a little graph, kind of cutesy, not very practical, but it's sort of nice. But you can see this, this is summarizing these three numbers. So if you add another month, it now updates here, adds that in. It also keeps totals by the column. So I can see the total for April so far is 1958. If I add something down here, that increments, and this increments over here, which is really what we'll be talking about. And I'll show you how to do this, but that's kind of the magic of spreadsheets. It's keeping totals as you're entering information. Now, with regard to these templates, if there's something in there that you don't use, maybe you don't have any childcare expenses, you could just repurpose that for something else and have it be your golf fees and put that in there. I know a lot of people where golfing is a daily living. Now, these are just sample numbers they've put in there to help you get started. So you would take those out before you get started. So then when you start putting